Millions of people are hooked on the smartphone game Candy Crush. The makers of the super popular and addictive game have trademarked the word candy. That's right, the word candy has been in the dictionary for as long as the sugary sweets have been around. But now the game maker owns the word. Interestingly, the name of the video game maker is King. The trademark's ban of the use of the word candy they're banning it not only from video games, but everything from clothing to amusement parks. The game maker says the trademark is aimed at protecting the company from intellectual property infringements. But really, can you own the word candy? For more on this story, I was joined by Derek Hanna, a visiting fellow from Yale. I first asked him whether or not you can trademark a word.
The short answer is yes. You could trademark a lot of things. In fact, not only have they trademarked words, but they've even trademarked colors. They've even trademarked sounds. So certainly you can trademark a word.
Yeah, and I want to pull up a piece of the filing from the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. It says the mark consists of standard characters without claim to any particular font style, size, or color. So they really are owning the word candy in all its forms. Do you expect, Derek, for King, the game maker, to seriously go after other companies that use the word candy?
To the extent that they're allowed to. Trademark is supposed to exist for the purpose of reducing consumer confusion. The idea being Candy Crush has developed a brand. And if I come out tomorrow and develop my own Candy Crush game, you may think that that's also a game from King. And so the point of the trademark here is for consumers not to be confused. But if the trademark is being abused in a way for things that the consumer would not be accused by, the courts would not uphold that.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like this is all coming down to money. They make a lot of money, a lot of people play the game, and they want to continue to make money.
They make about $1 million a day. And what their lawyer has said here is that they're not going to go against every app that uses the word candy, because that would be crazy. But they're going to go against apps that have candy in their title in a way that they believe consumers could be confused by. And Apple has already started taking some of the apps off of the App Store in that direction.
Well, it sounds like it's a lot at their discretion. It gives them a lot of power when they may or may not choose to go after a company that uses the word candy.
Sure. They send a cease and desist letter, and it's up to the other company whether or not they choose to abide by that or fight it to court. Ultimately, it would be the court that would decide, but oftentimes with these things, it never goes that far.
And if they do use the word, if a company goes out of line, well, what could be the penalty of using the word candy?
Well, the court can impose a variety of sanctions. They can be fined. They could have any proceeds that are derived from those sales taken away from them. The app could be removed from the app stores. That's not a court-given fine, but that's through Apple, a violation of their terms of use.
Now, does this work retroactively? In other words, are things that we know of that use the word candy, are they okay? The game Candyland, what about, names, people, the name Candy, Candy Crowley, are they safe? Are they safe from this trademark?
Well, Candyland presumably has its own trademark. But no, those things would not be affected because the consumer is probably not going to be confused between Candyland and Candy Crush. Candyland has its own brand name identification.
Do you worry about the precedent that this could set in terms of owning words in the dictionary?
It is troubling, particularly something like this where you can imagine a large number of games that involve candy. But it's very common to have words that are trademarked like this. For example, Apple has a trademark to their name, but yet we use Apple in a variety of products. Their trademark is limited to the markets that they participate in, so you can't make another Apple TV, but presumably I can make a T-shirt under the brand name Apple. And similarly here, you may not be able to make a game that looks and sounds and has a name similar to candy, but you can still use candy in other markets they're not participating in. Right,
and you had mentioned that they're probably just going to go after other game makers or other companies that might benefit from their name. But my understanding is that this trademark goes beyond just game makers, that it works with clothing, that it works with amusement parks, that it works with even food. I mean, how is that possible? How is it able to encompass such a wide variety of of things beyond just iPhone games or
Well, again,
smartphone
it
games.
goes to the question of customer confusion. So again, this system can and has been abused, of course, but the question at hand is, if you go to a Target and you see a shirt that has Candy Crush written on it, or just Candy something written on it and similar characters, would you potentially think that is a sanctioned t-shirt by King? That's the real question at hand here. And so these are potential markets for them to enter. Angry Birds, for example, has plush toys, and they sued a plush toy maker. So those are natural markets for them to extend to. But the trademarks don't apply to every market, certainly markets that they wouldn't enter, like a Candy television or a Candy iPhone, a Candy smartphone. And those would not apply.
Well, be careful how you use the word candy is what we can take away from this, I guess. Wow, very interesting. Appreciate your time. That was Derek Hanna, a visiting fellow from Yale Law.